what we're showing, and really what we're talking about today for the touchpad. The touchpad is, go different devices here. The touchpad actually, our design goal on it was a very organic feel to it. It's all curved, so regardless of what angle you have, it's very easy to hold. It's at a 9.7-inch display and weighs about 1.5 pounds. And really with this, and this is the Wi-Fi version, which we're coming out with summer. We'll follow it with a 3G and a 4G version as well. And really with WebOS, each of the cards you're seeing here is a live application. So really, we really take multitasking. It's really the core of the operating system. So as you're going through, you'll see all the applications going. I can order them however I want. So if I want to move my email over to the end, I just keep moving over, drop it in place. If I decide I want to have it and stack it together, so I have like applications or anything I want to do. So I've been using it for when I'm doing reservations or looking for restaurants around here. So I'll take Google Maps, I'll take TripAdvisor, stack them together in the afternoon, and then at night when I'm going out to dinner, go back and look at where that was. So really the goal of it is being, I can keep like things, or sort of how I organize papers on a table. You just have things that are interesting to you, group them together so you remember what's going on. You're not trying to jump in and jump out of applications to remember where you are. You also have on the browser itself, we spent a lot of time on it, and with the larger screen size, we've gone through and both hardware accelerated the browser, and it's a WebKit browser, supports both Flash and HTML5. Everything's on here is going through. You've got your standard pinch to zoom capabilities. You can also look at it whether it's in landscape or going to portrait mode. Really great things working with it. And one of the key things we looked at again with cards, if I want to have another browser, all I do is tap on it. I'll create another card session. You'll see as I did that, it actually organized them together, so I can have them together or apart. If you want to add anything, just tap on it if I'm going to go through.
Can you tap this address?
Excuse me. I'm videoing this.
We're together.
Okay. So one of the things we have with a keyboard on it, actually I can close the keyboard on it, or if you hold the keyboard, we're really focused on having it for whatever hand size. So I can have a large to an extra small. We also wanted to make sure that your keyboard had the keys you're going to use. So we have a number row across the top. You don't have to go to a different screen to go through it. If you want to have additional characters, we have some special characters on it or emoticons you can get to, but really want to make sure you've got everything in place on it. I'm going back because if I'm going to type, I'm going to need it a little bit larger. But other things we do on Touchpad, we have a concept called synergy, and we use it in email, calendar, contacts, and tasks. So as I get data from Yahoo or Google or Exchange, I can see it in one view. So I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to you with the data I left on Yahoo or your data that was on LinkedIn. I'm talking to everything in one single view. And with Touchpad really showing off the great display we have here, we wanted to bring that to photos. So what I'm showing here, these are photos I have on Facebook. I've also got photos on the Touchpad itself. I can actually hook into Snapfish. We can hook any other developer that's going through a photo bucket, what have you, can add in a plugin to this. And really this gives you the ability to have everything in your digital life come down to it. You can also, as you're opening things up, again, full size, switching through it. And because this is going through and this is Facebook, I have the ability to go through and we've hooked it into comments, so I can comment directly onto a photo that I have access to. I also have, because we're HP, I can print to tens of millions of printers that we've shipped in the last 5 years that are network enabled. So really bringing you the capabilities, either printing on a network or if you want to use our 8-print services as well. All of that comes, so out of the box you have access to everything you've already got in your environment. And finally going through, I guess the other pieces we've had just from launching it, definitely things like having Kindle on it, so we actually support Amazon. We also work with partners like Barnes & Noble. Really our goal is to content you have somewhere, we want to be able to have you use it on this device, you can use it on other devices, bring it over, and leverage your capabilities that are available today, in the web today. And we have, I'll just go back up here. Actually, these guys are great. The guys from Armageddon Squadron, we gave them the SDK on the 5th of February. They ported the application over, and we showed it on the 9th at our launch event. This actually, I've got it in demo mode so I don't crash right now. We flip off it. Uses all the sensors we have on the device. Let's see if I can stay flying. Okay, there we go. Oh, I didn't hit demo fast enough not to crash. But we have a full gyroscope, we have a compass, we have ambient light sensors, everything you'd expect to find on the device. So it allows you to go through, and again, this is a great proof point that they had a whole 3 days to move their application onto our platform. And this is accessing our PDK, but with everything else, we could stop it in places we're going through. We could bring it back and go, and as we're flying, stop it again, go back, do email, go look at my photos. Everything on WebOS as we're doing it allows you to multitask wherever you are and go back and stop and start where you want. And finally, what I showed earlier, I'll just go back here. So we have the capability again with the Touchstone. I don't think I got it in the film, so I'll show it to you. That we have the capability with Touchstone also, instead of just charging, to actually transfer data. So in this case, I've got my phone. All you do is you touch your phone to it. You'll see the ripple that it connected. It will bring the website URL over and download it so that I can be reading an article here, and it'll actually go through, bring on my phone, and I can go out and finish the article on the train. And as my Wi-Fi here gets slower and slower, we'll see how
coming up.
But really having this, and you see this great technology both from here and also pushing it back down onto the device. So I could be on the train reading, get home, and want the larger format screen.
What else you can synchronize in this way? Transfer, synchronize?
So right now we're showing URLs, but you can imagine you can have any variety of data. And as we get closer to launch, we're going to be talking more
Contact that you have here, you might pass it here, or
yeah, so
picture that you have.
And it's definitely something, again, as we get closer to launch, we'll talk more about it, but we wanted to show off the technology as we're going through with this.
Can you talk a bit about the specs of the tablet?
Sure. So this actually has a dual core 1.2 gigahertz processor.
Who's the processor by?
It's a Qualcomm processor. It's the 80X55. So it's the third generation Snapdragon. The joke is whether you want to call it a 2.4, which we won't. It's a 1.2, but it's a dual core, so it's definitely very snappy. It comes either a 16 or 32 gigabyte version. You've got about a gig of RAM inside it. You process it. You actually have been seeing the number of apps I have open on it and the speed that we're going through. Definitely snappy.
Including the game.
Yeah, including the games. We have not announced the battery life because we're still in the process of finalizing the product for the summer launch.
How many do you plan on shipping, say, this year?
Again, we're not talking about what we're shipping on it or the regions we're going to.
What kind of cameras it has?
So you have a front-facing 1.3 megapixel camera that can support video calling. We've been working with Skype and have showed prototypes of Skype working on the device, both talking on the Pre 3 and on the touchpad.
And it has a back camera? No.
It does not have a back camera. This is a little, I guess you could do it. We didn't see a full demand to actually walk around like this. But you could if you wanted to. We actually looked at the front-facing camera really as the core design for it.
So this is the Wi-Fi model, and they're coming up a 3G model?
A 3G and a 4G.
And the 4G.
Yes.
Okay.
And this also 4G when you say that. It's 4G and we haven't announced the radio. Okay. The other piece it has that we're really happy with is we use the Beats audio from HP, so we actually have both stereo speakers on it and a Beats 3.5 millimeter jack to their specifications. So you'll have great sound coming out of this.
No memory card slot.
No memory cards. Really, we looked at having this cloud connected, so whether you're streaming, whether you're pulling things from Facebook out of the cloud, if you plug this into USB, it acts just like a USB flash drive, so you can just drag and drop, no software needed. Really trying to manage things and make it much easier and not really tie you to any application.
Have you got vendor contacts yet?
Yes, we have, but we're not talking about that today.
Gorilla Glass display?
What?
Gorilla Glass display?
Gorilla Glass display on it, yes, and we also have a special coating to make it easier to wipe, so it just takes 1 or 2 wipes to clean it off.
Wi-Fi DNLA and...
802.11 BGNN.
Yeah.
We have not talked about DNLA on it yet.
Okay, and the Bluetooth?
Sorry.
The Bluetooth is 2.1?
2.1 with EDR. And actually A2DP as well.
Sprint was the first WebOS carrier.